predecessor. Now, our top story today. French Minister for Europe, Benjamin Haddad, has labelled the newly clinched trade deal by the United States and the European Union as unbalanced, despite acknowledging that it will provide temporary stability in transatlantic trade relations. This comes after the US and EU reached a new major trade agreement with key impacts on autos, energy and agriculture. President Trump confirmed a 15% tariff will hit EU exports, and the EU will invest $600 billion in the United States and buy $750 billion worth of energy. Moreover, the EU will also purchase US military equipment. This came as the clock ticked down on a August the 1st deadline to avoid the cross-the-board US levy of 30% on European goods. We're now joined by our guest to discuss this further, Ambassador Mahesh Sachdev, who's a former Indian ambassador. He joins us live from New Delhi to discuss this further. Ambassador Sachdev, looking at this trade deal, what do you believe? Do you believe this is a one-sided effort towards Washington, or do you believe this is now truly fair?
I think this shows the two sides having reached a last-minute deal, which is slightly tilted in favor of United States, which gets investment, which gets commitment for trade, buying American equipment, which continues with the tariffs on steel and aluminum from Europe, and which again leaves it open to United States to change it as and when they wish in terms of their various actions, proclivities, and special commodities, etc. I think it'll hurt Europe a bit because the zero-on-zero duty structure proposed on aircraft, for example, would enable Boeing to compete with Airbus on the home ground, which would have been a preserve. If it was 15%, then Boeing would have had to pay more duties. Its aircraft would be more expensive by that amount. But that base level 15% levy is not going to be charged on aircraft, on its parts, chemicals, semiconductors, etc., in which United States has a positive trade balance. Natural energy products and critical materials, etc. Again, US is the dominant partner of EU. Military equipment-wise, their dependence on the US is, under this treaty, would continue to some extent. So no wonder French, which produce Airbus, which have a major defense industry, are unhappy. Their unhappiness would also be enhanced by spirits not being yet included in this deal. So French wines, for example, would continue to wait for proper tarification, which will create uncertainty. And uncertainty is the best killer of trade. People don't import goods when they don't know by the time it hits the ports what would the duty be. So they would be that handicap.
Ambassador Sachdev, apologies for interrupting you, but I am conscious of time here. Just wanted to say many people see Donald Trump's tariff tactics as transactional rather than strategic? Given the deals that he's already got done, the ones in the past include the UK, Vietnam, Philippines, etc. Do you think that Donald Trump is proving people right in his tariff tactics here?
I think you can judge for yourself. These tariff structures, the deal, the investment commitments, etc., are to be made during the second term of Trump. So for next 3.5 years, for example, Europeans would be bound by this deal, and therefore Trump administration would be able to reap its benefit. So it's partly transactional, partly strategic. In case Mr. Trump decides or gets agreement to fight for the third term, this would be a strategic asset for him to bandy around. So that is where I would like to reply to your question.
Yes, Ambassador Sachdev, thank you very much for joining us on the programme and for your